So overall, a pretty good weekend for Winnipeg Jet fans throughout the league, throughout the country, throughout Canada, throughout USA, throughout North America. Pretty good week so far. Two back-to-back wins against Central Division rivals, and two back-to-back wins, and you pull them out. Get the 4 points in two back-to-back games against Central rivals. That's pretty big for a Jets team that is playing without their leading player producer in Mark Scheifele. That's going to affect your team a lot, but for them to be able to come out, win two games, and make it back to 500, being a 500 team, puts them eighth in the Western Conference, gets them in a playoff wildcard position, which is where they want to be right now, because they need to start working and winning games to be getting above 500 to be able to hold a wild card if they want to make the playoffs. So overall, a good weekend. So let's talk about what the games were. So the games, let's talk about the first game, which was Winnipeg against St. Louis, which ended in overtime. So pretty good game. St. Louis, a really good team, doing really well this year. For them, I thought honestly when I first heard that Michael Hutchinson was starting, I was like, oh well, we're not going to do so well. But then I realized Carter Hutton was going to be playing for them, so I thought maybe we'd have a chance. Two backups playing back together. So I thought, let's see what will happen in this game. First period action, shorthanded goal by the one and only best fourth line guy in the league, Chris Thorburn gets a second of the year shorthanded from Blake Wheeler. That's pretty big to get a momentum swing for your team to get a shorthanded goal, especially from a fourth line guy like that that puts in the work. So pretty good. Get your team in the mind swing that let's go back out and get another one. But second period, they fall apart a little bit. Two goals from Steen and Jaskin in the second period causes it to become a 2-1 game. But then the one and only Patrick Laine, the Finnish Flash. No, I'm joking. Patrick Laine comes in and he ties it with the 16th of the year. What a season for Laine. What a season for rookies this year. What a great year to watch rookies playing in the NHL. But he gets it from Nikolai Ehlers and Brian Little. Pretty big right there to tie the game. They go to overtime. 17 seconds into overtime, Brian Little buries it from, yet again, the one and only Patrick Laine. So that's a pretty wild game, and for them to be able to come out and win an OT that quick and be able to have young guys and old guys putting up points and helping contribute to a win is very important. Now let's talk about Sunday's game, hockey night in Canada. Not hockey night, hometown hockey game. So for hometown hockey Barrie for the game, because there's four guys that played on Barrie, which I had no idea, in Winnipeg, which is pretty cool to find out watching that. So this game, goaltenders Connor Hellebuyck and of course Scott Darling, considering Corey Crawford is out for the Chicago Blackhawks. Getting into the second period, first goal scored by Brian Little, assisted from Dustin Byfuglien and Blake Wheeler. This was a really good goal to see because it showed that our top guys, our older guys, are helping contribute still, and we don't have to rely just on Laine and Ehlers and Scheifele. That we do have Brian Little back, who's playing amazing since he's returned. We do have Dustin Byfuglien putting up assists and helping on the power play, get shots towards the net and helping on defense. We do have Blake Wheeler, our captain, playing on our power play, playing on the penalty kill, playing top second line minutes, going wherever he needs to do to help contribute to the win, which is what you need a captain to do, which is amazing to see. And then getting into the third period, and the third period, Panarin getting the goal quickly from Kane on the on the back, coming back from that post that Copp hit, which really kind of swung the momentum in Chicago's favor. But then Andrew Copp comes right back into the into Chicago's zone and buries his third of the year from Dano and Postma, which was really important to see Copp and Dano getting points and working together because they're going to be our third and fourth line future of the Jets, which is important because you want to develop, if you're going for the Jets to be able to develop a core of young guys that'll have positions to grow into, so they're going to have Ehlers and Laine developing and Scheifele developing their top pairing, and then they're going to have Connor developing into their top six. Lowry will probably become a top six. I'm a second line guy. I could see, but then you also have the guys that you're mentoring like Marco Dano, Andrew Copp, Brendan Tanev. Guys like this that are playing and they're developing into the third, fourth line roles, which are important because for you to be able to develop a whole team of young guys, for you to be able to sustain for a long period of time, develops a really good core connection with your team, which is very important for chemistry and winning games. So that's important for Andrew Copp to come back and bury that and get the game winner, for them to be able to win 2-1 in regulation, which puts them, like I said, 13-13-4 for fourth in the Central Division. So for them to be able to go and beat the first and second team in the first place and second place team in the Central Division is huge for them, and that puts them right at fourth. They are really still in contention with this for a playoff position. Honestly, considering that they have got played only downfall to them being in this position that they've played the most games in the Western in the Central, and they with 28 games, and they're a 500 team with 28 points, which is not where you want to be if you're playing that many games. You want to be up higher. And Nashville's only played 24, and they've got 26 points. Dallas has played 26 games, and they have 26 points as well. So you can see that the Winnipeg wants to do well. They have to win, and Nashville has to lose their games. It's just a lot of speculation. This and that has to happen, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about why the Jets had such a good weekend and why they came out and showed to the league what the Winnipeg Jets can do when they're healthy. They're playing right now without Tyler Myers on their top four, which is very, very, very important to realize. For a team to be able to go in back-to-back games against first place and second place team in the Central and only allow how many goals did they allow? Yeah, only allow 3 goals in two games against the first place, second place team in the Central is very important to see because they're playing Paul Postman, Ben Shaw on their third pairing with who is I don't even know who they have called up right now. That's how and probably Mark Stewart if I'm not mistaken. But it just shows like what they have to deal with as a team and to overcome with through injuries. And that is very important to realize when you're talking about a hockey club playing in NHL. When you have injuries, I'm not trying to say injuries is an excuse for a team to play poorly. It's never an excuse to play poorly if you're a professional hockey player, NFL players, professional any player in any professional sports league in the world. It's not an excuse to have a horrible team and get lit up in the goal category or in the touchdown category or whatever sport you're playing. It's never good to get lit up and blown out of the water. But injuries do add on to that if you're playing really good teams when you are playing without some of your best players. If you look at who they're still injured for the Winnipeg Jets, they have Mark Scheifele was not playing. Nick Petan isn't playing for your top 6 right now. Tyler Myers isn't playing. Joel Armia and Shai Matthias are not on their active rosters. Like, for defense, right now they're playing with Toby Enstrom, Josh Morrissey, Jacob Trouba, and Dustin Byfuglien and Morrissey on the top pairing with Enstrom and Stewart, and Trouba on your second. If you had Myers, Trouba would be if Enstrom would be playing third pairing minutes, and Trouba and Myers would be playing together, and your top four would look a lot more sound, And on offense, missing Mark Scheifele on your first pairing helps. He helps with your faceoffs. He helps with your assists, your goals. It helps win games. He is a key player to any team. Any team that loses a top line player is going to is a serious blow to your team. But for them to be able to come out and get 2 wins, 4 points, back-to-back nights against very good teams is very, very, very important and crucial to them making the playoffs. These type of games show to the NHL teams and NHL managers, coaches, that when they play Winnipeg, they have to think of it as just as playing Pittsburgh or playing any other team, because they have to realize that any NHL team, even if they're struggling on the on the standings, on the scoreboard, or the stats wise on anything, can win a game. And I feel that it doesn't apply just for the Jets, but it applies for any team in the league. Look at Carolina. They've won 6 straight home games. 6 straight. Did anyone see Carolina doing that? Even though it's home games, but still. You look at the standings in the East. Carolina is... Where are they on the conference? I just had it up. Carolina in the Eastern Conference is 14th, 10-10. They're a 500 team. In the West, a 500 team, as the Jets and as a couple other teams, are in contention for a playoff. That's how bad the West is this year. So for a team like Carolina to be even getting 10-10 is a good step in the right direction. There's a lot of teams like this right now. So this is why it's so important for Jets fans to think that season isn't over and that you don't have to think that we're not going to make the playoffs. We have a strong chance, since considering how weak the West is this year, which is very, very important to recognize when you're thinking about the injury bug. If the West is already weak and you're playing against really good, the best teams in the West, and you can come out and win, what are you going to do when your team is healthy and you're playing Arizona, Colorado, or a struggling Dallas team, or Nashville, struggling teams like that in the West? You got to think that, wow, if we're winning games back-to-back against good teams like this, maybe we have a chance to win against other teams that are fantastic and that are playing well in the West, or maybe we have better chances of winning even injured or healthy against teams that are bad in the West. You have to think that wins in the West, in the Western Conference, any team in the Western Conference, especially your division, if you're in any division and you're playing a division rival, you have to win. It's a must-win for both teams. You got to think, okay, we got to go in and win this game no matter what the cost is, because it's either you or them, especially in a situation still in the beginning of the season, still around that 30 game mark, for you to go out and win against those teams, because you're still in it until they've already started. You're still in it until it's everyone's clinches and you're out. You always have that chance, and you got to put 100% effort in, and that's what the Jets did this weekend. And that's why I'm telling all Jets fans out there that do not give up hope yet. There's still light shining down that tunnel, and at the end of that tunnel, there's a whiteout awaiting for us. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace out, and I'll see you in the next one.